So now that we got the mess cleaned up in here off the ground, I got to turn my attention to these pallets. What I want to do is restack them over on that side. I want to clear out this bay. This space is more useful for me. And I just want to get some organization in here. So I'm going to restack these pallets quick.
Yeah. And you can put it in here. What's that over the wood?
So that felt really good to get the barn clean. That is our old run-in shed. Some of you guys might not be aware of it if you've recently started watching our channel, but we have our pole barn, which we're in now, and then we have a wood pole barn, I guess, run-in shed.
And it was probably built in the 80s.
And we don't use that too much, but basically just storing kind of the odd stuff that we don't need in the barn, in this barn. We wanted to get it clean. You could see it was stacked high with pallets. We need to do a little work in there. So we're getting it ready. This is kind of a hint at our upcoming projects that we have coming on. We're not going to be renovating that barn, so don't worry, it's not going to be that. But there's some things that we definitely want to use that for, so we're just getting ready for that. So a lot of people ask us about the pallets that we have out there. Why do we have so many pallets? What's our plan for the pallets? And we actually don't really have one. We had a plan, kind of. I was collecting them because I had some ideas in mind, stuff I wanted to work on. But we just go with the flow, and, you know, things have taken a big turn because, like, for example, we didn't even know we were going to be doing this barn renovation. We just, we really flow with things. Right now, I just haven't been worried about working on any pallet projects, but we're still going to hold on to them because pallets are super handy and they're nice pallets. So we're going to store them in the barn, keep them dry, and I'm sure they're going to come in useful someday, somewhere, some way. Basically moved all the pallets out of the way and actually got to cleaning up all the loose hay. The hay isn't a big deal, but there's a lot of, it's messy, but also there's a lot of broken glass in that barn from a previous owner. We don't know what broke in there, but it's everywhere, and it's little tiny shards of glass. So we were trying to clean up the glass. We got most of it out.
Looks really good now.
Yeah. So look forward to some more projects coming. I think it's going to be pretty fun, pretty cool stuff. And otherwise, we haven't been doing too much, like we said last time. Just taking it as it comes and planning.
Waiting.
Yeah.
Planning, waiting.
Buying tools. I've been shopping online a lot and buying some extra tools for upcoming things. So, you know, that's what we're working on. Now, the weather has been getting a little nicer lately. Instead of the 20s and teens, we are up in the 30s. And that's good. Because that means I've been able to get outside. I have a project coming up, a little project I'm going to share with you soon. Boom, boom, boom. So you guys know that we finished our home renovation and we're really getting ready for the full house tour. We want to give you guys another walkthrough, completed renovation walkthrough of everything. So I'm trying to wrap up all these little jobs that are left over. There's not too many, but there's some little things here and there that we want to take care of. One of them was finishing up the utility room. This is where our utilities are, you know, our electrical and our water heater and storage is. So in here, we had some trim work I wanted to finish up on the back side of this door. I got that done. All the trim is done. Baseboard is done. Cleaned and organized the shelves. We're trying to make it look nice for the tour for you guys. But also, down here, we have a, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little pipe coming off this water heater pan. And it goes down into the floor. That's something that's been sitting unfinished for weeks and weeks, months and months. And it was time to get it done. So this is the drip pan. This black plastic is the drip pan, in case our water heater ever leaks. I just put this this fitting on the side of the pan and it elbows down through a hole in the floor. Now I should point this out because I've had some people criticize my install on this because they didn't see pressure relief valve. They thought I didn't have the overflow on there as per code. You know, on your water heater you might have a little valve coming off the side with a pipe coming down. Now, I've had people tell me I've done this wrong, but there is one. Our tank has the valve right here on the top. Let me get close up so you guys can see. So there's the pressure release valve. It's hidden, and it actually goes back behind the water heater. And then the pipe goes toward the back, elbows down to pretty low to the ground, and will drip into this pan and be brought into the crawl space. And that's what I needed to take care of, is that it will just drip into the crawl space. Also, we have a drain underneath our washing machine to catch any accidents that might happen in there. So the drain also just went straight into the crawl space. If there was any leaks, it was just going to flood the crawl space, and I didn't want that to happen. So what I did was I went into the crawl space and I plumbed up all that plumbing that needed to be done. And you probably won't see any of that in the house tour, but we wanted to make sure it was complete and the systems were all in place. I decided to tie those two pieces of pipe together, and basically the drain from the washer comes down, it goes over to this water heater pan, they come together at a T, and they're going to come out and go outside. Now, getting through the block wall was such a pain The way this all lined up, it just happens to be that where my pipe came out, it was right where the concrete block was solid. You guys know these concrete blocks, they are mostly hollow, but they have dividers going through them. And, to give them strength. Now, where the pipe wanted to go was right where one of those dividers were. I could have moved the pipe over. It's PVC, it's easy to work with, but I didn't have any extra fittings. I just wanted to get it done. I underestimated how difficult it was going to be to get through that black wall. It was just crazy hard. I was pounding on it with a hammer forever and ever. That didn't work, so I finally grabbed a new tool. I picked up a D-wall grinder so I could cut through the concrete with a diamond blade. I made my cuts. Now it doesn't cut very deep, but I thought if I could weaken the block, I could get the rest out in the middle. And it did work, but it's still very difficult. I tried making a small hole at first. I just couldn't break through it, so I ended up cutting out half the block. And I figured if I cut it down to the mortar lines, it would probably break a lot easier, and it did. So I was able to smash some of that out with a hammer, and then the rest I was not able to do because I just didn't have enough leverage to break out the back of the block. So I ended up grabbing a T-post and using that to give me some leverage, and was able to just smash the block open, and it worked. We got through the wall. So I ran my PVC outside to the 2-inch line, got it out to the outdoors. Then I had to patch the blocks back up, and luckily I had a half a bag of concrete mix. It's the ready set, the quick set mix out in the barn. So I just mixed some of that up and kind of just lumped it in the wall there and tried to smooth that out the best I could. It was super cold outside, just probably freezing or close to below freezing, and I didn't want the concrete to freeze up while it was drying, so plugged in a little space heater and just had it sitting there on low, blowing at the wall, trying to keep it warm enough for the concrete to cure. And I think it worked for the most part. It's dry, it's hard, it looks okay. There was a little bit of scaling, flaking on the outside, but it looks like it set up fine. So after letting that sit for a few days, I decided to go ahead and paint it, and threw some concrete foundation paint on there, and it looks really good. It blended away just perfectly. And again, I threw the heater on there just to let the paint dry. Just had it blowing on there for a few hours to make sure that it wasn't going to freeze. I don't want it freezing on there. Alright guys, let me show you what I did quick. So this is the washing machine floor drain. That's the emergency drain under our washer. And so I plumbed it to go this way. And you can see it goes into a T with a small 1-inch pipe coming out the floor. That's the drain from our water heater pan. So that's the emergency drain for the overflow, so that if our water heater ever leaks, it'll go down here. So washing machine, water heater, they go into the T, straight outside. So that's what I was trying to accomplish, cutting that big gnarly hole in the wall. I patched up the outside, now I got to do the inside. I'm going to use some foam on the inside, just spray foam. Went in on the back side of that and I just spray foamed to seal it up from any coldness and drafts getting in. And I could have put the mix on the inside, but I just didn't feel like dealing with that again. And on the inside of the house, the spray foam is going to work fine. So that's done. We finally got the washing machine and the water heater pan plumbed to the outdoors. Hopefully we'll never need those, but if we do need them, at least it'll get the water out of the house and not in the crawl space. So I just thought I'd share that little progress and that little update with you guys. Again, we're going to be doing a full house tour, so we're trying to clean up everything and get it ready. And I'm just trying to take care of those little tiny jobs that didn't get done before. They weren't that important, but they would have been important if we had a leak. I think we're almost done. The only thing I wanted to do is build Belle some better closet shelves in her bedroom closet. Right now she has the metal shelf that we put in there. Let me show you. So here is Belle's closet, and she has this metal shelf in here with a closet rod on it. It works awesome. But this closet had the same problem that our bedroom closet did, is I made it too narrow. And the shelf fits, but not between the baseboard trim. So what we had to do is block up the feet so that the shelf could sit above the trim. I don't like that, and it's kind of bothering me. So my idea is to get rid of the metal shelf, even though I love it, and build in some, cut to fit wooden shelving and a pole in here. So that's a project I would like to get done. It's not a necessity, but it's something I do want to do. I think after this is done, we're pretty close to finished, and I think the tour would be complete if we wanted to do a walkthrough. So look forward to that. I think it's going to be fun. We'll try to show some of the before and after and just show you guys everything we've accomplished over the last 2 years. Can you believe it's been 2 years since we moved into this home? And we have accomplished a lot. Just so much progress. The shelving can come soon. I don't know if I'm going to be working on this project. It's all weather permitting because I don't really like to build out in the cold. It's hard to do anything with wood glue or anything like that. So we'll see. But that'll be a project coming, and then house tour. And we got some other fun stuff coming, so stay tuned for that. I think I'm going to wrap this up now. So thanks for watching and coming along on today's little project. We'll be back soon with another video. So until next time, take care.
Bye.